Hello to our parents and family members joining us today. Welcome to our RU family. My name is Kim Kushner, and I serve as the Assistant Director of New Student and Family Programs in UMKC's Office of Student Involvement. In my role, I oversee our UMKC parent and family programs, as well as support many of the events and activities your student will be getting involved in during their time at UMKC. Today's session is entitled, Support Your RU with Academic and Career Exploration and Planning. We feel that this topic is extremely relevant for our parents and families to learn more about, as student success is our top priority at UMKC. For today's panel discussion, we have invited staff from Campus Resources who will help to provide additional information about what UMKC has to offer when it comes to academic support services, career services, and peer mentoring. These resources include academic support and mentoring, the Peer Academic Leadership Program, or what we'll often refer to as PALE, and our career services offices. Through this panel, we hope to introduce these offices to you, giving you a better understanding of how your student can find their home at UMKC, while also taking advantage of all of the services available to help your students succeed both inside and outside of the classroom. Through our panel today, we also hope to welcome you into our RU family as well by introducing you to welcoming faces who can help you if you ever have any questions or need anything. So let's get started. Let's give our panelists a moment to introduce themselves, including their name, their role, and the office they are representing.
My name is Julie Collins, and I'm the Director of Academic Support and Mentoring.
My name is Susie Krulowicz, and I'm the Director of the Peer Academic Leadership Program, also called the PAL program.
My name is Tess Surprenant, and I am the Director of the Black Career Center and the Interim Director of UMKC Career Services.
Fantastic. So now we're just going to get started into our questions. Thank you so much again for our panelists for being here today. Our first question is, tell us more about your office and how your office supports UMKC students.
Okay, I'll get started. As I said, our office is Academic Support and Mentoring. And actually virtually behind me is a little glimpse of what our environment looks like at the Atterbury Student Success Center. And the services that we have in academic support and mentoring include tutoring, so one-on-one or group tutoring by appointment or walk-in. We have writing studio services, which is similar to tutoring, except of course in the area of really intensive help with writing, whether that's a project or a paper. We have RU-Up seminars, which are really brief student-to-student seminars on topics that students sometimes struggle with: time management, study skills, note-taking, those kinds of things, offered in an online environment, so accessible 24/7. And then we also have supplemental instruction, or SI. SI is somewhat unique to our campus. It was actually created here at UMKC in 1973. SI, the short definition, is peer-led study sessions. And that is just a really effective method that's been proven to increase students' grades by a half to a full letter grade who participate in those sessions.
So peer academic leaders, also known as PALs, are experienced UMKC students who serve as peer mentors for incoming RUs. All freshmen are engaging with the PAL program as a part of their first semester experience course, and many transfer students also participate in the PAL program. The PALs meet with students for one-on-one peer mentoring. They also attend and support that first semester experience course. They offer consultations for college study skills, like time management or study habits.
Sorry for the delay. So at Career Services, we offer a wide variety of services. We offer one-on-one career coaching to either help students who have an idea of what they want to do, work on their resumes, cover letters, interviewing skills, things like that. We also do quite a bit of work helping a student figure out what it is that they would like to do for a career when they graduate. We also coordinate a wide variety of workshops and programs. We host a number of career fairs throughout the year for our students, either that cover broad topics or very specific, what we call career fair hotspots, very specific to certain industries. And of course, we then also go and meet with companies in the Kansas City area and beyond and source internships and full-time positions and have those posted on our career services platform called Handshake. And at any given time, there's thousands of internships and job postings there.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for sharing so much about your different offices and programs. Our next question is, tell us why it is important for students to utilize your office's services during their first semester at UMKC. And we'll start with Julie again.
Well, you know, a lot of times folks think about academic support services as something that's there for them once they determine there's a need. So they're going through class and then all of a sudden they're finding that it's challenging, they're not doing well, so then they seek academic support. Well, I will tell you, we are here for you if that is the case, but it is very important to this question. It's really important to take the full advantage of the services to start early. We actually have a motto, start early, start often. So choosing those services that apply to those particular classes. So tutoring is in many of the challenging classes, particularly math and science. Writing Studio is always applicable for any class that has a paper or presentation associated with it or more than one. And then SI is affiliated with many classes as well. So starting early in those services, trying them out, getting to form a relationship with the tutors, with the SI leaders, and with the writing consultants, and really finding those right people for you, because many times there's a choice, is really important. And we actually know from data that we've gathered that students are more successful when they do consistently in an ongoing manner seek that service rather than waiting until they're in trouble. So that's why we would encourage you during that very first semester, early in the term, to seek those services.
So I would also encourage students to engage with the PAL program early and often. To quote Julie's wise words there, UMKC has amazing faculty and staff. We really do. But sometimes it's helpful for students to hear from other students and gain more of that peer perspective. And that's where the PAL program comes in. So as students are transitioning to UMKC, that can be challenging to be coming to a new school, learning to navigate new systems, new resources, new technology. And PALs can help to make navigating that transition much less stressful. PALs are able to provide advice to students based off their own college experiences as upperclassmen. They will work with students to identify their personal strengths and develop a plan for how they can use the opportunities at UMKC and in the Kansas City community to make sure that they get the most out of their college experience. And also, one of the things that the PALs do really well is that if a student is looking for a resource and they don't know where that resource is, or they're not sure how to utilize it, PALs aren't necessarily the only resource on campus, but they're really great at connecting students to all of those other resources. So they're not sure how to make it over to Julie's office for all of those great ASM support services. They can start with their PAL and get help navigating that, or counseling center, or any of the other great things that UMKC has to offer. So they can start with their PAL if they need help finding something else on campus too.
Well, I too am going to repeat Julie, and early and often is our mantra as well in career services. And to really highlight this, I want to give an example of a true story that we had. I worked with a freshman a couple of years ago who was interested in working at BMW in Germany when he graduated. Came in as a freshman to talk about how he would best set himself up for this. And we were able to talk to him about starting to take some German classes so that he would be a stronger candidate for that. And really setting out a plan for how he might do a mini internship after his freshman year, a more interesting internship after his sophomore year, so that he would be prepared for that really high impact and very competitive internship with BMW that would lead to the full-time position. And so coming in early leaves the student with so many more options. I think too often we hear students saying, I'll go into career services when I'm about to graduate and look for a position. But by that time, so many companies have already wrapped up their hiring. Some of our companies recruit almost a year in advance for both internships and full-time positions. And so we want to make sure that our students are ready and prepared and out there seeking all of the opportunities. And so coming in early is always the best practice.
Fantastic. Again, coming in early, having your students thinking about as best as they can, even if they don't know all the options there, working with their PAL to get that academic and career support in their head and getting them into those services early and often is fantastic. Excellent. Well, our next question for our panelists is, how can families best support their student as their student gets ready for college?
Well, I think probably the best advice that I could give, and I would say this directly to students, but since we're talking to families right now, you can say this to your students. Today, for example, you're seeing 3 offices represented: academic support and mentoring, career services, and PAL. And those are just 3 of the offices on campus, or 3 people that you're interacting with today who are here to help your student. So UMKC is filled, I was going to say thousands, it's probably hundreds, but hundreds of people across the campus are in positions to know things about campus, to be able to be a support, to be able to guide to the next resource, as Susie mentioned, in terms of what PALs do, is they guide to the next resource and the experts in that area. So I would just say, help your student understand that they're not alone, that there are many, many people and other resources on campus that are all here for them. That is our sole reason for being here. That is our joy. That is what we want to do. It's our mission. And if they don't know who to ask, PALs would be a great place to start. But any of our offices, I often think that if you dialed anyone on campus, they would probably, even though they may not be the perfect person to help you with that problem or that resource, they would probably help you get to that person. So just know that there are many people here to help, and PALs would be one way to do that. Academic support and mentoring, all of us are here to help your student.
I'm not sure I can add much to top what Julie just said, because I definitely echo many of those comments. Encourage your students to take advantage of the many things that we offer, and early and often, not just because they're struggling, but because it's a part of that whole college experience. Encourage them to be building a network here. That's going to make college more fun. It's also going to make college easier to navigate academically as well if they have that network. And for the parents and families, I would just echo what I said before, which is that transitioning to a new school can be challenging. So whether your student is coming to us from high school or from another college, they're going to be learning how to navigate new things here. So the more you can do to support them in that role, to let them know that challenge is okay, and that it's how they approach that challenge and how they take advantage of the resources that are available, that really will define that college experience for them.
I too am going to echo my colleagues, and I think that really just the idea, your student is never alone. We're all here to help. We're all here to support them. I know for career services, sometimes your student's going to be busy. They're going to be involved in other things. It's easy to put it off thinking, oh, I'll worry about that in a year or two, because it seems like it's far enough down the road. So for families, I would just say, give them a little nudge every once in a while, ask if they've come in and talked to us, just to talk about different opportunities and options. And we're always here and ready to talk to them. But my other piece of advice is encourage your student to kind of jump in with both feet and right from day one. So that really being active and involved is a habit that starts right away. Because I think that, I mean, college is just a wonderful experience, and I think that being a RU is a wonderful experience, and so take full advantage of it.
Thank you all. I definitely, that last piece really resonated with me about being the nudger. Parents and families, you all are really powerful referral agents. Some of my other videos kind of highlight that in terms of, you know, becoming familiar. You don't have to be an expert with some of these resources, but just know that they exist, and potentially thinking about setting some expectations with your students after their orientation session around how they are going to seek out academic and career and peer mentoring opportunities and help, whether they're struggling, a little bit challenged, celebrating, all the different types of spectrums that are there. I think just setting some of those expectations and just being familiar and watching this video, you're already on your way. So responses from our panelists. My next question is pretty easy, actually, hopefully. If families have any additional questions or concerns, how can they contact your office?
Yeah, probably the easiest way, because we have so many services within our office, the easiest direction to give you is to go to the website. And that's the UMKC website, so umkc.edu, and then /ASM, which of course stands for Academic Support and Mentoring, but sometimes I like to think of it as the last 3 letters of enthusiasm, yay. So /ASM, and from there you can navigate to the various services that I've addressed, and actually even more than I've talked about today. So lots of resources, lots of direction there for you on the website /ASM.
PAL program, the easiest way to get in touch with us and be guaranteed to receive a pretty prompt response would be to email us. And that is UMKC PAL program at umkc.edu. So that's UMKC PAL program at umkc.edu. And we're able to respond to those emails with just in a few days usually.
You can find all of the contact information for career services on our webpage at umkc.com or .edu, I'm sorry. But otherwise, send us an email. It's pretty simple, careerservices@umkc.edu, and we'll get back to you right away.
Awesome. As we close our time together today, is there anything else you'd like to share during our panel? I'll start with Julie.
Just enjoy the experience, enjoy, you know, specifically talking to supporters and family members. Just really embrace this time as and realizing it might be a little bit turbulent for your student. They may not recognize that all the time, and you might not recognize that all the time, but just really enjoying this time and taking your cue from them in terms of what kind of support they might need. You know your student better than anyone, so just taking your cues from that, and just let them know that you're always there too. Just like we just talked about how we're all here on campus, you're also always there to support your student.
Absolutely. The more people that your student can add to their network of supporters, that's their families, that's their people in the community and on campus, the better that college experience is going to be for them. And so I will just end by saying that we are really excited and honored that we get to be a part of that opportunity for your students. So I am looking forward to meeting them all at orientation this summer and continuing to support them as they begin their studies at UMKC.
I just want to say welcome. We're so excited to have you and your student as part of the UMKC family.
All right, folks. Well, as we conclude our panel, I want to thank you for watching. The offices represented here are just a small sampling, as our panelists have said, of our UMKC faculty and staff dedicated to serve you and your students. If there's anything else you need, please feel free to connect with our UMKC Parent and Family Programs Office via email at families@umkc.edu or through our website, which is go.umkc.edu/parent-family-programs. Again, this is an office just for our parents, families, supporters of our current UMKC students. So we welcome your involvement, we welcome your collaboration, and we welcome your #1 RU pride, because y'all are generally some of our #1 RU fans. So RU up, and thank you again for your time today.